What's up, y'all? It's Emile Jr. back here with Clevver News, and Daniel Radcliffe posted a lengthy rebuttal to Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's transphobic tweets, and it was everything. So apparently, just because J.K. Rowling managed to lead Harry Potter to safety after 7 suspenseful books doesn't exactly mean his life is fully indebted to her. This fact was proven true on Monday when J.K. felt the need to ring in Pride Month and a time when the world is fighting racial injustice, with a few thoughts on trans women that came off completely transphobic. This all started when she shared an article to Twitter called "Creating a More Equal Post-COVID-19 World for People Who Menstruate." But what really sparked outrage was the phrase "people who menstruate." Why she felt the need to share this and not think she'd receive so much backlash, I'm still at a loss. But for being such a world-renowned best-selling author, girl does not know how to read a room. Along with the article, JK also wrote, "People who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wimpun, Wumud." She then went on a lengthy Twitter rant on the topic of same-sex, writing, quote, "If sex isn't real, there is no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth." She added, "The idea that women like me, who've been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e. to male violence, hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences, is a nonsense." And to end her controversial statement, she added that although she respects every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic to them, she said, "My life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so." To nobody's surprise, J.K. Rowling's thoughts were met with an overwhelming amount of criticism from fans who are now labeling her comments as transphobic. Many users clapped back with responses that completely counteracted what Joe was saying. Joe is J.K. Rowling's nickname, by the way. Like this one user who wrote, "How can someone who had enough imagination to write one of the best-selling fantasy novels have such a narrow mind? Erasing the concept of sex doesn't denigrate human beings with ovaries, it just would make all equal. If you, J.K. Rowling, believe this, you're just a supremacist." Another fan laid out the cold hard facts for J.K. saying, "I know you know this because you have been told over and over and over again, but transgender men can menstruate. Non-binary people menstruate. I, a 37-year-old woman with a uterus, have not menstruated in a decade. Women are not defined by their periods." Singer Mary Lambert also shamed her for this issue being what she's willing to fight for, writing, "Trans women are women and they are fighting for their lives. When you push this trans exclusionary agenda, you make their lives infinitely more difficult. Shame on you." She went on to add, "You have power and influence. Why would you do this? What does it achieve? Do you feel like more of a woman when you punch down? Are you threatened? Some trans men menstruate. Why does that affect you? Why do you want to police that?" Joe's tweet also caught the attention of the official Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, who not only revealed that in 2020 there is no excuse for targeting trans people, but they also suggested a few organizations to follow that support Black trans people. After hearing about the feathers that Joe had ruffled up all over social media, Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe then responded to her comments in a short essay posted to the Trevor Project website. And really quick, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Trevor Project, it's an empowering national organization that provides crisis intervention and suicide prevention for LGBTQ people under 25 who don't generally have access to those resources. Daniel started off his essay by noting that while J.K. Rowling is unquestionably responsible for the course his life has taken, he feels compelled to say something as a human and as someone who has worked so closely with the Trevor Project for the last decade. He wrote, "Transgender women are women. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of transgender people and goes against all advice given by professional healthcare associations who have far more expertise on this subject matter than either Joe or I." Daniel then cited that 78% of transgender and non-binary youth have reported they've been discriminated against due to their gender identity, adding, "It's clear that we need to do more to support transgender and non-binary people, not invalidate their identities, and not cause further harm." And as his closing statement, he issued an apology to the fans whose love for the Harry Potter series has now been damaged, and who have single-handedly lived through the constant discrimination and consequences of being trans. He said, quote, "I really hope that you don't entirely lose what was valuable in these stories to you. If these books taught you that love is the strongest force in the universe, if they taught you that strength is found in diversity, if you believe that a particular character is trans, non-binary, or gender fluid, or that they are gay or bisexual, if you found anything in these stories that resonated with you and helped you at any time in your life, then that is between you and the book that you read, and it is sacred. And in my opinion, nobody nobody can touch that. It means to you what it means to you, and I hope that these comments will not taint that too much. Woo! Leave it to Harry Potter to once again come through, because Daniel Radcliffe pretty much summed up his thoughts in a perfectly tasteful way that was exactly the type of informative, insightful response the world could desperately use right now. And if you are seeking more information, Daniel also shared a link in his essay to further educate yourselves on transgender and non-binary identities, so I highly suggest you go check that out. On that note, let's celebrate Pride Month with some positive comment. Click right over here to see all the LGBTQ+ celebrities who are supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and let us know your thoughts on Daniel's response to J.K. Rowling down in the comment section below. I'm your host, Emile Jr., and I'll see you soon right back here on Clevver News. Bye, guys.